It always arrives at the worst possible moment. You are mid-sentence, mid-meal, maybe mid-date, and then, out of nowhere, your whole body jerks. Hic. You freeze, you hold your breath and count to 10. You sip water from the wrong side of the glass. Someone cheerfully offers to scare you, and none of it really works. You just have to wait it out. A hiccup is one of the most useless things your body does. It serves no purpose. It fixes nothing. It does not protect you, feed you, or warn you of anything. It just happens, hijacks your body for a while, and leaves. So here is the strange question. Why do you have a dedicated reflex wired into your brain for doing something completely pointless? Evolution is ruthless about waste. It does not usually build and maintain machinery for no reason, unless that machinery is a leftover, a piece of something old, because the real reason you hiccup is far stranger than a glitch. It is a 370 million year old echo of an animal you used to be. Let's start with what a hiccup actually is. Deep beneath your lungs sits the diaphragm, the big dome of muscle that powers every breath you take. Normally, it moves in a smooth, steady rhythm, but a hiccup is a sudden, violent spasm of that muscle. It yanks down hard, you gulp in a quick rush of air, and then, a fraction of a second later, the flap at the top of your windpipe snaps shut. That snap is the sound. Hic. The whole thing is involuntary. You cannot start a hiccup on purpose, and you cannot easily stop one. It runs on a circuit older than your conscious mind. Now, here is the first real clue to the mystery. Who hiccups the most? Not stressed adults at dinner parties. The champion hiccupers are the unborn. From around 9 weeks after conception, long before a baby can breathe air, fetuses hiccup constantly, for hours at a time. Newborns hiccup far more than children more than adults. The reflex is at its strongest before you have even taken your first breath, and it slowly fades for the rest of your life. Some scientists think those constant hiccups in the womb are not pointless at all. They may be a kind of rehearsal, a way for an unborn body to exercise and strengthen the diaphragm, training the breathing muscles for a job they will not actually perform until the very moment of birth. Practice for a skill you cannot use yet. That is a very odd pattern for a malfunction. A glitch should not be most powerful at the very beginning. This looks less like a bug and more like a leftover from an earlier stage of life. So scientists went looking for where this ancient circuit came from, and the answer takes us underwater. In 2003, a neuroscientist named Christian Straus compared the exact muscle pattern of a hiccup to the way other animals breathe, and he found an almost perfect match in a surprising place. Tadpoles, amphibians, creatures with gills. Think about how a tadpole breathes. It gulps water into its mouth by contracting muscles, and then it pushes that water out across its gills, while sealing off the passage to its lungs so the water does not flood them. Contract the breathing muscle. Snap a flap shut over the airway. That is the rhythm of gill ventilation. And it is, almost exactly, the rhythm of a hiccup. The neuroscientist Neil Shubin tells this story beautifully in his book about human anatomy. Deep in your brainstem, in one of the oldest parts of your brain, sits the little cluster of nerves that generates hiccups. It is wiring you inherited, almost unchanged, from fish and amphibians that lived hundreds of millions of years ago. When your distant ancestors crawled onto land and traded gills for lungs, evolution did not delete the old gill-breathing program, it just built lungs on top of it, and that ancient program is still in there. A hiccup is that program, switching on by accident. There is a second theory, and it does not cancel the first. A researcher named Daniel Howes pointed out that hiccups might still do one useful job right at the start of life. In a nursing baby, that same snap of the airway could help push swallowed air back out of the stomach and stop milk from going down the wrong pipe, a built-in burp for an animal too young to manage one itself. Either way, the message is the same. Hiccups belong to your beginning, not your now. They are about gills and wombs and first feeds. By the time you are an adult arguing at the dinner table, the reflex has no job left to do. It has simply forgotten to switch off. So why does it suddenly fire? Almost always, it is irritation. You ate too fast, you drank something fizzy, you laughed too hard, or swallowed too much air, or stepped out into a cold wind. Any of these can prod the nerves that run your diaphragm, and the old circuit, ever twitchy, mistakes the nudge for a signal and starts running its ancient routine. Usually it passes in minutes, but sometimes the loop gets truly stuck. An American farmer named Charles Osborne started hiccuping one day in 1922 and did not stop for 68 years. By some estimates, he hiccuped more than 400 million times, through 2 marriages and a whole long life, until one day the bout simply ended on its own, as mysteriously as it began. A small, stubborn reminder of how powerful this ancient circuit can be, and this is why the cures sometimes work. Holding your breath floods your blood with carbon dioxide, which tells the brainstem to calm down. A sudden fright, a spoonful of sugar, a glass of water swallowed in a strange position, all of these jolt the wandering vagus nerve and can knock the reflex out of its loop. You are not curing a disease. You are just rebooting a very old program. So the next time it happens, the next time a hiccup ambushes you at the worst possible moment and someone leans in, grinning, to try to scare it out of you, you can tell them the truth. It is not a flaw in your body. It is not random. It is a fossil, still working. Every hiccup is a brief, involuntary rerun of how a creature breathed before there were lungs, before there was land, before there was you. You spent this whole time thinking your body was glitching. It was not. For just a second, it was breathing underwater.